Hello, everybody. Welcome to Queer Games Heck Yeah for today. We're playing games from this year's Queer Games bundle, but you only have like a couple of days left to get the bundle and all the goodness that's in it for an exceptionally low price. It's like hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars for a pittance. And also, you support queer artists around the world from New Zealand's North Island all the way to New Zealand's South Island. It truly is special global effort. Today we're playing dramatic irony. I don't know what drama is. I don't know what irony is. So this is going to be a learning process for us all. I know nothing about these games, so if you don't like surprise content, I'll give you like a little beat to like look away. Here we go. Okay, if you're still here, it's all on you. Let's start. Oh, should I check preferences? Music volume? Well, I'll always turn the music down just a little bit. Alright, let's start.
Notification. To toggle computer-generated subtitles, press the V key on your keyboard.
Oh, I don't say I care for that computer voice. Hello and welcome to Dramatic Irony. Before the games, I, the developer, want to go over a few things. First, I want to give you some content warnings, or as I like to call them, massive spoilers. I won't read them. They're on the screen. I'm not looking at them, but you can read them, and then if you're not happy, turn away. All right, okay, let's go. Second, I want to make sure to mention that this game in the end is based on my own experience. I do not speak for all transgender people. Our experiences are very diverse. Yes, I often have people come to me and they go, like, non-queer people, I suppose, and they're like, there's so many letters in the alphabet, Luke. How can, what's the story with that? I'm like, well, I think as we get a bit more sophisticated as a community, as a civilization, as a planet, I think we're kind of realizing that not only are there not just two models for living, and not just like 3, 5, 6, 10, 12. I think we're kind of slowly figuring out that there's 8 billion people on the planet. There's actually 8 billion different types of people on the planet. Um, but yeah, it's always good to, it shouldn't have to be said, but it actually does need to be said. So good on you, developer. Thank you for taking the time to read this before the game started. That's all from me right now. Enjoy. I always love a little developer intro and a little developer outro. And it's always very interesting what avatar the developers choose. This one has not done anything special. They've just put a text box with the developer. But sometimes I played this earlier game in Queer Games Heck Yeah. We played The Secret Life of Dorian Pink. Really amazing point and click, hilarious, well made game that sort of takes that 100-year-old novel, The Picture of Dorian Gray, and just kind of puts it in a blender and just sort of brings it up to date. Genius game, really great. The demo of that is what we played. The developer appeared as a piece of poo, uh, you know, or I think he hecked the girl out of me, which is the game we played in the last season of Queer Games Heck Yeah, which was maybe my game of the year. Um, the developer avatar I think was like a ghost, and it's always I think very telling. In my quest to read way too much into the choices the developers make, nothing lets me read more into a developer's decision than the avatar they choose for themselves. Oh, I can get a whole essay out of it. Anyway, narrator. You're Lily, a student in high school. You're in English class right now. Cool graphics. Let me just check the audio level. I mean, it looks okay for me. Alright, I'll turn up a little bit for you folk. Alright, I want to give you a little bit of atmosphere, you know what I mean? You were just browsing your phone during class, as any good senior student does. Teacher. As we talked about before, the ironies are all different. For example, dramatic irony is when the audience knows something that the cast does not. Oh, I didn't know irony actually had a meaning. Dramatic irony had a meaning. For example, dramatic irony is when the audience knows something the cast does not. Dramatic irony. What? The cast or the characters? Oh, I don't know. Confusing. But as you scrolled, something clicked in your brain. Holy heck, this is it. I'm transgender. I'm a boy. That makes so much sense. Yeah. Epiphanies, they come out of nowhere. It had been bothering you for a while, and it felt good to know, uh, to now know who you are. And nobody else knew, not right now. I have no idea what would happen if my parents found out. Maybe they don't have to. They don't need to know. It would be best if I waited until I leave for college. I only have 6 weeks after all. I can keep this secret for 6 weeks. Ooh, secrets, they have a way. And like that, the stage was set and the curtains rose. I'm loving this narrator dramatic device. The judge. Lily, have we lost you? The judge seemed to be dressed in Shakespearean garb. It seems very out of place in the school setting. Huh? What? The bell already rang. You should be heading off to your next period, right? I suppose. Thanks for class today. I can't believe she would put on all that for class. When did she do that? Exiting the class, there's something off about everyone. Thoughts. Why is everybody dressed like they're in a Shakespearean play? Oh, I'm loving this. A taller boy in your class approaches you. He is accompanied by the jingle of bells. The fool. Hey Lily, I saw you stayed back. Is everything good? Narrator. Looking at memes in class has changed you for this moment. It takes everything not to laugh. Why are you dressed like that? He looks himself over in pure confusion. Dressed like what? It's just my hoodie. Oh man, do I smell? I washed this yesterday. Okay, is this a case of once you realize that identity is very much like assumed or like taught to you, that maybe once you start to look at what everybody else is wearing, it starts to like costumes rather than clothes. Also, I love a good hoodie. Why are we singling out hoodies for derision? I can't live without my hoodie. I am a programmer. Oh man, do I smell? I watched this yesterday. Never mind. Yeah, I just zoned out. Alright then. We'll see you later, I guess. If you don't zone out again, hey. Now there was another game we played in Queer Games Heck Yeah last season. I think it was called Curtain Call, and it was not the same concept, but if you find this game interesting, you have to go back and play Curtain Call. Um, Basically, it's about how everyone's wearing a mask. I mean, the central conceit of the game is that everybody wears masks in public. And so in this game, you get the ability to see people's masks, and kind of the game is about getting people to take off their masks so you can see the real them. And it's just superb. Little chef's gifts. Oh no, I think I've crossed the line into pretension. Oh no. Well, it was bound to happen eventually. Yeah, let's keep going. Narrator. He jangles away. You let yourself chuckle and make your way to lunch. The cafeteria is always super busy, but the people you usually sit with have already claimed the regular spot. Without thinking, you slip into your usual seat. Oh, that is a bit loud. I hope it's not too loud for thee. Hey, how are you doing? The town crier. Oh, the town crier. I mean, being a gay male, I have a bit of an eye for the boys, I guess, or the people with the short haircuts. Town crier is cute. Hey, how you going? Thoughts. Why is everyone dressed up? Also, having these internal thoughts thing is brilliant as well. I'm alright, you? Did I miss a memo? I'm pretty good, says the town crier. Thoughts. Oh my god, this isn't a Spirit Week thing, is it? I thought that was in a couple of weeks. Did something happen? Town crier. Did you hear about the lacrosse team? There's the jangle of bells. The lovers? No, I thought this was the jester. No, what about them? Well, I heard from the grape tree that their grapevine. Huh? The expression is hearing it through the grapevine, not a grape tree. Town crier. Whatever. I'm talking about the lacrosse team. Did you hear that they've talked to the people running the budget and next year they're going to have a ton of new equipment and jerseys? They just got new heck last year. Isn't that ridiculous? Not as ridiculous as your outfit. I suppose, why does it matter? We're all leaving anyways. I know, but still. You just want something to gossip about, didn't you? I'm not gossiping, I'm just sharing the news. I'm like your local newsman. Yeah, sure. Like you were talking about how you smelled weed in the boys' restroom near the history classroom is really front page news. It is, it pays to know. Oh, the lovers is a different character, okay. Well, as long as you're not hurting others with what you're saying, well, as long as you're not hurting others with what you're saying, it alright, alright? Right. Plus, you two are always so full of each other. It's a mystery you know anything about this high school. Hey, it's true. What about you, Lily? The town crier points at you. Huh? Were you listening at all? The lacrosse team, what do you think? Oh, I don't really care. We're going anyways. Yeah, it is super silly. Bad decisions make good drama. See, I knew you would agree with me. She only agreed with you because she's been mentally in space all day. She wasn't listening. The town crier lowers his hands and huffs at the fool. Anyways, that's my daily news. What do you have to eat today? What, so you can go tell everyone else? This game's got me thinking. But I'm not ready to go there. Oh no, hiccup. Narrator. They continue their usual banter as you eat a ham and cheese and tomato scalding hot sandwich. It's kind of funny because every time the fool moves, the bells on his costume jingle. This doesn't make sense. They're not even complimenting one another on their outfits or anything. Am I just imagining them? The warning bell went off for the next class. I garbled that. And yet somehow I made it work. You all give rush goodbyes to one another and go to your class. Good morning, everyone. Come on in. Get seated. This is definitely odd. It only started when I figured out that I was trans. Wait. You pull out your notebook from your previous class as you sit down in your seat. You're only half paying attention, but one of the terms is sticking out to you. Dramatic irony. Oh, I see. The people around me have become a cast member in my very own play. No matter. It's only 6 weeks until graduation. Your focus is back on the lesson, but it's hard to when your teacher looks like he jumped straight out of Hamlet. Before you know it, the bell goes off. As you pack up your stuff, the teacher approaches you. The art's got a sense of humor, I think. There's a bit of a wink in the artist has like given us a little wink, I think. This is pretty funny. Like that collar is hilarious. Lily, mind sticking around for a sec? Alright. You wait for the rest of the students to file out. Am I in trouble or something? No, not at all. I just noticed you seem really distracted today. Are you alright? Ooh. Oh gosh. Well, I mean, if it was real life, I would be holding my cards closer to my chest. But this is a game. Gee, they've really. These two options are just kind of like very similar in that they're a bit vague, and then you've got something so definite. We're going to go with that. There is a moment of silence. Why the heck did I do that? I'm so hecked. He's going to tell my parents and I'm going to get kicked out and... Oh, alright then. Wait, I don't mean to sound dismissive. I don't mean that to sound dismissive. I'm glad you figured that out. The Shakespearean garb fades away. The king, Mr. Cartwright, has joined the audience. Ah, do you have a different name you go by? And what are your pronouns? Still figuring out the name thing, and I use he, him pronouns, I think. Those are nice. Alright, well, if you ever want to update those, that's okay too. I like Mr. Cartwright. Do you want me to use them in class or just when we're alone? I don't want to out you. Oh my, this is textbook. This is a textbook good response from Mr. Cartwright. Damn. I mean, he looked good in the collar. All right, I'm trying to absorb. I want to. I want to learn this stuff too. I want to get it right. I didn't even think about that, huh? I will let you know. All right, sorry. I just want to make sure you're safe here. Thank you for confiding in me. You're a strong person. I appreciate that you trust me with that information. It's a little too textbook. Where's the grit? He looks so happy for you. His entire face is lit up with a wide grin. Maybe those last 6 weeks won't be so bad. Thanks, Mr. Cartwright. I really should be going, though. Oh yeah, of course. I just want to make sure you're okay. See you tomorrow. As you leave, he gives a wave and a smile. Don't forget to do your homework, please. I won't. At least, I hope I won't. I like the jauntiness of the background art. Like it's quite playful. I know that the game is kind of serious topic, obviously, or very personal, more personal than serious maybe. But there is a certain fun to the art that I approve, or I enjoy, I should say. You don't need my approval. When you get home, you start on your homework. You take a break, of course, for dinner with your parents. You're halfway through when you get a text. It's from one of your classmates. The Hermit. I don't get this, maths. Can you help? The Hermit has entered chat. I feel a bit targeted. She doesn't usually talk to anyone. It might be important. I was kind of hoping for some free time tonight, though. Sure, happy to help. Great. For 17a, I was struggling with determining the value for x if y equals 1 over 5. I mean, that didn't seem to make much sense to me. But I'm not great at maths, even though I am like a programmer, a hardcore programmer too, and an engineer. Never let me build a bridge, is what I'm saying. You help the Hermit with her maths. She seems to get it right after a couple of questions and retires for the night. Thanks for your help. See you at school tomorrow. There was an odd little... I don't quite know what the purpose of that little scene was. It's time for bed. You slip in and fall asleep with little ease. The next morning, you wake up exhausted. I hope that everyone looks normal today. But with one look inside the school says that it is not. Hey Lily, how are you today? Lily, huh? We said, how are you today? God, I wish people kind of dressed like this all the time anyway. I do think one of the curses of modern civilization is that we dress down. I mean, yes, it's more comfortable. Yes, it means everyone can have their own style, but also, would it kill us to just up the effort a little bit, people? What I'm saying is I really want to wear a matador suit, with sequins. Cut high-waisted pants. I can do it, but I can't do it by myself. I need your support. Are we just stuck to one another? Alright, tired. I didn't mean to sound so defensive. Well, alright, we're still hanging out at lunch, right? Usual table? Yeah, see you later. See you. Come on, we've got to get to cheerleading. They really can't separate, even in my weird mind. I guess that's what comes out of being one of the most popular kids in school. Here come the bells again. I actually think he looks really kind of... He's really cute in that costume. If I was at a party and someone was wearing that across the room, that's I know where my eyes would be going. Hey fool, how you doing, kid? Oh wait, I got with that. It's still funny seeing him dressed up as a fool. You're only a year older than me, so I know for a fact that you're a kid. Well, when you're an old man, who fails... well then, you're an old man. Who fails art class anyway? I fail art class, and who are you to call me an old man? You're just a little baby. Old, child, elderly, infant. As you two go back and forth, another person approaches. It stops the fool in his tracks. Good morning. Keep your voices down. The way she walks screams that she holds herself to high standards. Still has a stick up her ass though, huh? You have to loosen up a little, come on. This is not a place to be childish, this is a place to learn. No wonder you had to take an extra year. Ouch! I I don't think any teacher would ever say that to a student. Okay, now that I think about it, because the teachers I've known over the years, some of them would say it to a student. The student almost always, sometimes, maybe, no. Ouch, words cut deep, you know. I'm going to class. See you there. Oh, I thought that was like the principal or something, but that's just another student. See, you know she's not going to make any friends when she gets to university, right? Too uptight. Anyways, see you in class. The fool leaves you alone in the hallway. Oop, the hermit waves as to you as she walks by. The hermit. Hey, thanks for yesterday. Maths is hecking hard. If you need help with whatever, I guess I'm around. She walks around you and towards class. You head to your class and take a seat. When the teacher gets up and the bell goes off, there's immediately a pit in your stomach. Today we'll be having a group activity. We'll be separating the class into two, alright? It's going to be like a race. Boys on the left to... Oh no. Oof. I thought we were doing really well. Mr. Cartwright was pretty chill. I think the Hermit's going to be on our side. I think the Fool is going to surprise us on the upside. And then this has just come out of nowhere. Boys on the left towards the door, girls on the right towards the window. Heck, really? We haven't separated like this in literal years. People split into the groups. The ruler and you remain in the middle. Don't you think this separation system is a little outdated? Plus, there are more girls in the class than boys. Why is she complaining? The girls' team is at an advantage. She's guaranteed a good mark this way. Well, it's fine. Hey, aren't you in the wrong spot? The judge points at the hermit. She is on the girls' team, and she glares at the judge. No, I'm not. The judge wiggles her eyebrows at the hermit. She seems completely focused on her. Are you sure? Yes. A silence falls over the room for a second before students continue to talk to themselves. The ruler silently moves to the girls' team, leaving you alone in the middle. I don't want to go to the girls' side. I'm not a girl. But if I go to the boys' side, I'm going to totally out myself. What if someone figures it out? Heck, I'm so hecked. Why couldn't we just separate by which side of the class we sat on? Would anyone even notice if I chose the boys' side, or would people make a big fuss? Am I making a big fuss by not going to the girls' side? Gah, I can't just stand in the middle forever. Oof. I mean, it's easy for us in a game to pick the choice that, we want to kind of progress the plot, but I mean, oof, I'd be sweating that day if that were me, for sure. You walk over to the boys' side. You feel like everyone is staring at you. The judge shoots you a look. She wiggles her eyebrows at you and smiles. Heck, she knows, doesn't she? I'm so hecked. She's going to call my parents and I'll get kicked out. Heck. Thanks for making the teams even. Oof. Even with what the judge said, it's hard to focus. You feel as everyone is looking at you. Everyone knows, everyone knows. The class feels agonizingly slow, and you just sit there as the group does the work. You get up to leave at the end of the class, but someone calls you over. Hey, Lily. I noticed you weren't, paying attention, and with yesterday and stuff. Just wanted to check in on you again. So here I am, kid. Are you doing alright? You seem really hecking anxious during that whole class. Oh, I was worried everyone was looking at me and stuff. Why? Because you're on the boys' team or whatever? Yeah, because I was on the right team, actually. Huh? He thinks for a second, then it seemed to click. See, this being the last game of the Queer Games, before the Queer Games Bundle finishes, I think we've gotten really lucky, because this is a fabulous game. And this is a fabulous queer game. And I think there's different levels to a queer game, right? There's games where just queer characters are in it. Maybe you'll play a game and your best friend will be gay or something. Then there's a game with multiple queer characters, and that's pretty good too. And then there's a game where you play as a queer character, and then there's a game where you can play as a queer character and you can romance other characters. But then there's it goes up levels, right? And I think like near the pinnacle for me, near the peak, is games where you like halfway up the peak. I'll wind it back a bit. Halfway up the peak, there's games where there's like queer issues in it. So like to me, I find that really valuable. I know there's a lot of pushback about like, oh, why do like gay men in games have to be doing gay stuff? Why can't they just be regular characters? Like I roll my eyes at that for sure. But then there's the pinnacle of it, right? Is when for me a queer game is when you have to play through like queer stuff with a queer worldview and queer characters. Something I've tried to do with my games a bit. Well, not tried to. I just feel like I kind of naturally lean into it. Here we have just a really great example of a real queer game. Like we the player are having to do these. We have to live through this scenario, and to me, that's the real power of games as a medium. Is that you you have to proactively walk in the shoes of another person. Like they say, read 1,000 novels, live 1,000 lives, and that's completely true. But you're on rails the whole time. You know, it's in a game where you, as the player, you have to animate those feet walking in those shoes. And dramatic irony is doing a really wonderful job of that. Oh, I see. Wait, just so we're on the same page, you're transgender, yeah. I see. That's cool. Terry. He's got that haircut I like with the bits that stick out the side. Well, you're probably expecting a stronger reaction than that, huh? Sorry, you're just not the first one. Oh, I'm gonna cough. Can I mute this? How does this mute? Okay, I think there was a bit of coughing there. I think that's a sign, though, that we are beginning to bump up against the physical limit of what I can do with a queer game tech here. I can do about half an hour comfortably, where like I'm playing, I'm talking, and I'm engaging with the content. The second I start to not engage, like that's I don't want to be. I don't want to just be some person just reading out words on the screen. But then also sometimes the voice gets a bit dry. So I don't know if we're going to finish the game, but we're going to give it a good go. Well, you were probably expecting a stronger reaction to that, huh? Sorry, you're just not the first one to tell me that sort of thing. Oh, really? I guess that makes sense. You kind of just know everyone. Yeah, anyways, I'm here if you need anything, alright? Really? Anything you want to talk about now? Not really. Do a lot of people know? No. Alright, well, I'll keep it on the down low. I won't do anything unless you say so. Thanks, Terry. Anytime. I know you do the same for me. He opens his arms for a hug. You go into it. It's a quick hug, but it's nice. Terry has joined the audience. I almost think that phrase could catch on. You know, Terry has joined the audience. Sarah has joined the audience. Um, what was I going to say? I had some other point to make, but I forgot it. Anyways, you better go off to your next class. Don't want to make you feel late. I can't even be more of a bad influence. I can't be even more of a bad influence. Heh. So I like Terry, but also, I mean, I don't know. Are kids the best at keeping secrets? Not really. Yeah, see you later then. See you later, toddler. Bye, old man. You leave the classroom, heading to your lunch table. Why did it have to be like that? That was so dumb. The teams weren't even equal on their own. That was uncomfortable. Really, why would she do something like that? Wasn't she the one who said she was all about inclusivity and stuff? You head over to the lunchroom, mulling it over. I think it's really interesting. Something else about this game is there's a separate voice for the narrator and a separate voice for the internal thoughts of the player character. It's just I haven't seen it very often in games, and it's just an interesting little technique. I think it's working quite well. I quite like it actually. I mean, potentially, like it's a dangerous thing, right? Because I think with a visual novel especially, you kind of want the writing to be able to convey all the information itself just through like speech and maybe some internal thoughts, or through a narrator and no internal thoughts. So it is almost like, they're playing with fire by having it, but I think it's working. Sitting down, it's hard to focus on what everyone is talking about. You catch bits and pieces. And then he said, as if, happen, how do you. All you can think about is what happened. Lily, are you listening? Oh, heck. Hey, you're just trying to deflect. Terry shoots you a knowing look. I am not. All I'm saying is that I have good sources. Thanks. Good sources, huh? Really? Just because I don't disclose them doesn't mean they're not real. The banter continues on without you, thankfully. Before you know it, the warning bell goes off and you head out to your glass class. You take your seat, utterly confused. It's hard to pay attention while trying to figure out what your teacher was trying to do. She probably didn't mean anything by it, right? Right? Yeah, it's not like everyone thinks about gender all the time. I'm just overthinking this. I just am. It's okay. It's fine. It was nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. Lily. Huh? The bell went. Is everything okay? Is this about what we talked about yesterday? Yeah, something like that. Alright, well, if there's anything I can help you out with. How could he help? It's not like he can do anything, and I might just be making a big thing out of nothing. I don't think so right now. You head straight home again. It's another quiet evening. As you lay in bed, you let your mind wander. So much for keeping it to myself. But it isn't that bad, really. It was nice for someone to know who I am, and to know that the costumes are not a permanent thing. I know there's so many stories online about trans people getting shunned, but maybe times have changed. Either way, I would feel safe about it, but it went better than I was expecting. Except, what was that about? What was that with the separation? That was so dumb. At least that doesn't happen every day. But as graduation gets closer, it's only going to get more and more complex. Act 2. Okay, well, we're going to save it there. Because the thing with Quick Games Tech, yeah, we're really just giving a flavour of the games. If you want to see how that goes and play the other paths that we couldn't play, you can get Dramatic Irony right now, as part of the bundle or outside of the bundle. So if you're watching this from the future, if you're ahead, floating in a vase, floating in a fish tank, orbiting one of the moons of Mars in the year 2416, and you're watching this, you can go play Dramatic Irony right now. I mean, you can probably download it into your brain net or something, and you can see what life was like back in the year 2023 before the Spiderbots came. Um, that was brilliant. That was really you can tell it's a very personal story. You can never tell whether these things are autobiographical or just good writing. Um, and so I never want to say, oh, this is somebody's told their story, thank you for sharing, kind of thing, because it's possible that it could just be good writing. But when something is either way, it's really personal, intense experience, games like this. And I think that it's really amazing that people are taking the time to make them these days. You know, um, I've done like the Queer Games Festival like 6 years now, and I've done Queer Games Tech here for like 2 years or 2 seasons. I think that I think trans game devs are really, really just doing super interesting work. That sounds a little bit, I don't know, that sounds a little bit kind of twee to say. It's more like I feel like trans game devs are in the fight for their lives, and they're doing it with humor and creativity and like burning anger, but also like passion. And I just think that when someone's standing on the corner yelling, um, it's really it's really lucky if you can that you get to hear it or something. I look, that's a bit unresolved. That thought. Oh, I've got to stop saying unresolved. I'm a bit over it. But yeah. Anyway, dramatic irony, fabulous game, a lot happening under the hood too. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Please check it out, and I'll see you next time on Queer Games. Heck yeah. Bye.